From the worldwide studio headquarters of Big Play in Cleveland, Ohio, on the beautiful shores of Lake Erie, steps away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and smoldering Huntington Bank Field, where it's still recovering from a marathon performance by Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters last night. Welcome to Greenie Sports Cards Live, the world's very first multi-stream broadcast for the hobby industry, coming to you weekly. This is episode number 128. On this episode, we will talk with our resident hobby insider, Joe Wysmierski from Phoenix Sports Cards. He'll join us for perspective on the hobby with big news coming down this week. Greenie will take us around the country for his top collectible shows to attend, including shows in Shipshewana, Indiana, and Las Vegas, Nevada. We have a breaking news announcement and a surprise special guest. Later, we'll be joined by Ryan Alford, founder of Collector Nation and Collector Station, a fantastic collectible shop with a couple of unique twists down in Easley, South Carolina. We'll catch up with Ryan. We'll catch up with Greenie. We'll catch up with Joe. And we'll catch up with a surprise guest who is coming to town this week, and we can't wait to tell you more about that. So, packed show tonight. Without further ado, let's get to it and bring on the man himself, Steve Greenberg, a.k.a. Greenie, the namesake of Greenie Sports Cards, Greenie Sports Cards Live, Greenie Shows, and all things Greenie. Welcome, my friend, to your show, Greenie Sports Cards Live.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I never realize how many Facebook groups I'm in until I have to share every time that we go live. I'm in a few, and I might get kicked out of a few every time I share too. But nonetheless, beautiful day here in Cleveland, Ohio. Columbus, though, not so beautiful day, man. Tornadoes there. There was a video of a car that got overturned on the highway, and we are wishing all the best down there. And we're hoping that the rain goes away so that our Columbus Food Truck Festival has a phenomenal weekend with our friend Chaz, the Hobby Ohio. And Jeremy, you'll be down there as well.
Yeah, I'll be down there this weekend for the 15th annual Columbus Food Truck Fest, and hoping the weather passes in time. What a tremendous event that is. If you love food, if you love food trucks, live music, and you're anywhere in the Columbus vicinity, check out the Columbus Food Truck Festival this weekend. So, Greenie, that's an event, a huge festival in Cleveland. There's another big event coming. You've got seemingly big events every week, but there's one coming up in Charleston, West Virginia, and we have a breaking news special announcement for that show. Do you want to get to it?
We can get to it. Our friend Jeremy down there at Select Cards and Collectibles is bringing his friend, former NBA champion, Jason Williams. He will be at the show signing autographs. All the stuff will be determined, dates, times, and things like that. But it is confirmed. Jason Williams will be joining us in Charleston for the Mountain State Collectors Convention, and we can't wait to talk to him. We're going to do a little interview. We'll get him on the stage, the Big Play Collectibles stage there, and he'll be signing autographs for fans. So that'll be terrific.
That's going to be awesome. He is so beloved there in his native West Virginia, and big time announcement, big guest for the Mountain State Collectors Convention. Greenie, the dates on that show.
September 18th through 20th. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We do it at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center. Charleston is terrific, man. If you have never been to that city, just go to the city. I mean, the show that we do, too, is terrific, but the city is great. The downtown scene, the restaurants, the coffee shops. We went and saw Andy Friedman play at a coffee shop there, and then the Mountain Stage where he played. So everything about Charleston has been great for us.
Really cool city. Really looking forward to get back there. And coincidentally, you said the secret word tonight, Andy Friedman, who will be joining us, we expect, in a little bit here as a special surprise guest. Andy's going to be appearing here in town in Broadview Heights at Bomber Sports Cards, coincidentally, this week, Thursday night, Greenie. And we'll talk to him a little bit more about that. But what's Andy doing in town here this Thursday and the weekend?
Yeah, he does these pop-up shop shows where he brings his art to when he has things going on in town. I know he's going to be doing some stuff at the Beachland Ballroom this weekend. He has some other shops that he's doing, and man, his setup is terrific. You get to talk art with him. You get to see his artwork, and I can't wait to talk to him. He can tell us a little bit more about it. But he is a terrific guy. We had him in Charleston. his display is terrific, and his artwork is even better. And his music is terrific.
He is the quintessential artist. He paints, he performs, he writes original music, and so really cool stuff. We'll talk to him about his appearance at Bomber Sports Cards this coming Thursday, and his live concert performance that will follow this weekend. So we expect Andy Friedman to join us a little bit. We'll also check in with our resident hobby insider, Joe Wysmierski from Phoenix Sports Cards. We will talk with Ryan Alford from Collector Nation and Collector Station, which is his physical retail shop. By the way, the only card shop in America with a drive-through service. You can actually drive up like a Starbucks or McDonald's and pick up sports cards down there and easily. So looking forward to catching up with Ryan. So lots of big news breaking this week, and we will get to it with your hobby hits of the week. And we'll start it off with Whatnot's $545 million cash infusion and $20 billion valuation, a live commerce earthquake that hit the news wire this week. Whatnot didn't just raise money, it doubled its valuation in 9 months and cemented itself as the dominant force in the live hobby commerce. Whatnot closed a $545 million Series G round at the $20 billion valuation. It's the largest raise in live shopping history. They are already pacing at $8 billion of revenue this year, has surpassed all of 2025 already, 7 months in. There are 650,000 new users joining weekly, showing unprecedented mainstream adoption. Those funds are earmarked for seller growth, international expansion, and AI-assisted tools to optimize auctions. This is the strongest signal yet that the hobby, the live commerce of the hobby, isn't just a fad. It's becoming the backbone of modern collecting, and Whatnot continues to scale. Cooper Flag's one-of-one debut patch auto has been hit, so the chase is now over. It is the biggest modern basketball grail of the year, and it has officially surfaced. Roadie Breakers pulled the 101 debut patch auto redemption from the 25-26 Topps Chrome Update basketball. The pre-pull bounties on this debut patch were staggering. There was a $2 million cash offer by Sheriff Cards. Ken Golden offered a $1.5 million cash advance. The Dallas Mavericks have offered 2 season tickets for 32 years plus experiences. And with the chase over, the hobby and jumbo box prices are expected to drop sharply. Panini has secured a UFC renewal through 2030, ending rumors of a Fanatics takeover. Panini locked in a multi-year exclusive extension with UFC, shutting down speculation that Fanatics would absorb the license. This includes Prism, Immaculate, Select, and Chronicles. UFC reported record sales, a record retail sell-through for 2025 products. This is Panini's biggest licensing win since losing the NBA and NFL license. It stabilizes their portfolio and keeps combat sport collectors in their ecosystem. So, Greenie, there is other breaking news that just came out before we went live on air, and why don't you share that?
Yeah, if anyone went to the National, I think that the news actually broke a little earlier, but it's kind of still freshly breaking news. We saw a video of a gentleman, a younger child, open a showcase, take a card, and walk away. And it has come to find out that they have been found. And it was reported, I see that NBCChicago.com reporting that the detectives have recovered the stolen property. Arrangements are being made to return it to its owner. They used village-owned security cameras, flock cameras, and license plate reader technology. You're never hidden, is what they're telling you.
It was only a matter of time. There were cameras and
influencers
and people everywhere. And
not only are there a lot of security cameras in the show, almost every vendor nowadays has a camera at their booth, whether they're recording content or they're recording their booth as a form of security. There's cameras everywhere.
There is, including multiples in this studio here on us. So
right.
There's no escaping the lens these days. We are expecting Andy Friedman any minute to join us, so we will get to Joe Wysmierski as well from Phoenix Sports Cards. And Greenie, really cool stuff we covered already. So Jason Williams' announcement coming to Charleston for the Mountain State Collectors Convention. You've got the Bomber Sports Cards appearance with Andy Friedman in town this week. Your show schedule continues to grow, getting way out ahead of previous years. In 2027, there's over 40 shows already on the calendar. Going to Indianapolis, a new location. You've had other announcements back down to Columbus for the Ohio State Card Show. Yep. The dates on those, February 4, 5?
5th, 6th, I believe. It's a Saturday, Sunday. My mother's birthday. Happy birthday. But then, yeah, Indianapolis will be Father's Day weekend in June. We know that the Great Lakes Collectors Convention will be the first weekend of April. So 2027 is shaping up to be a fun year. We have a few other dates, and some of these are already on our website, greenieshows.com, but you can look and see some of the things. We'll have the Wayne County Collectors Fair, which is a little south of Cleveland in the Worcester area. So that'll be happening next year, amongst a couple other new surprises and twists and turns like we like to have here.
Very good. Still waiting on Andy to jump in studio. Why don't we bring on our resident hobby insider, Joe Wysmierski, for we'll get into some news with Joe, and then we'll audible when we have to come back to Andy. Looking forward to joining him. He's got a busy schedule, as we all do, but he is I think he is hosting a number of people he's got in his gallery, showing them around, so he's going to pop in with us when he can. So in the meantime, why don't we welcome a man, friends. We've got somebody entering the studio who once sleeved a card so fast it nearly tore a hole in the space-time continuum. He's a man who will bring top loaders to a wedding just in case. He's the desert-dwelling Sultan of Slabs, the commissioner of chaos, our resident hobby insider, headband, Joe Wysmierski.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Going with a complete button-up all the way to the top, not leaving it anything open. It's not casual Tuesday. It's all business Tuesday. And it's good to hear that justice was served in Rosemont. So
it's all business. That must mean some big deals went down in the shop. Tell us what's new. We know that the Topps Chrome Update basketball is new. The Cooper flag got hit, but prior to it being hit, what was it like? Were people coming in? Were they looking for it? Is this a payday people were looking for?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the one thing I don't do it very often, but I will disagree with Jeremy that the prices of the products are going down. That's really not the case. If you look on some of the more of the wholesale market, it's been pretty strong still. And I think it's due to the infusion of so many new collectors, because a product like Topps Chrome Update just has so many opportunities to hit big cards. We saw everything from these timeless moments cards, these horizontal cards of iconic shots that have gone for crazy amount of money, to the minion cards that are selling for over 100,000 plus for the superfractor. So there's a lot, and really one of the biggest cards still to be, like, the chase is still on for the Dylan Harper, right? So they're looking for that debut patch as well.
No, you're right. Dylan Harper's still a big one, and there's still, I don't know if Khan got hit or not, so there's still cards to chase. What else is coming up? Jeremy shared that Panini and the UFC license, is that kind of a quietly big deal?
I honestly, I mean, sure, I guess, but the numbers that the UFC's reported this past year were based off of Topps products that they released. So they had all of this great growth and sales, but they were Topps products. So I don't know. A lot of it, like, we can't forget that when Topps comes out with their Topps Chrome product, they typically offer the MVP buyback. Well, they would do a main event buyback in Topps UFC Chrome. So that also drove sales of not only the hobby SKUs, but all the way down to like the value boxes. So it will be interesting to see what they do. It's great, but I mean, the ball really is in Panini's court for some innovation, right? Now it's time to kind of pick up and go heavy into UFC. and with all of your creativity and, like I said, your innovation to do something different with the product.
I know Dana White was ripping a lot of stuff when Topps obviously had the license there, so maybe Panini will really delve into that, because it is known that he does buy and sell cards. At least he did before. So I would get Dana White on the train there, right?
Absolutely. It's really actually kind of cool that came out, I think, in the last 10 days to 2 weeks. Panini Decades, and it's more of a retail SKU. It's not licensed, but the boxes are made to look like VHS tapes, and it had a bunch of different, like, it's kind of like one of those Leaf products, like Art of Sport, or it's not licensed, but you get a kind of a conglomerate of different people that you can chase. There's autos in those products, and I went down to my local Target and picked one up, and I had a good time opening it, and the price point's $30. So Panini's trying to do stuff. you know I'd like to see them just do stuff. Let's stop trying, because we all know trying implies that you're willing to fail. So just do it.
Joe, on the note of invention, so the Cooper Flag debut patch was hit, and which is a newer iteration of taking these debut patches, because Fanatics has the uniforms, they then put it into a card. The byproduct of that, not only are people chasing the cards, the grails as it were, but now you're seeing bounties. How recent is that phenomenon of multiple entities putting out bounties to chase a big card, to hit a big card? And there are multiple layers in this now for the hobby. Not only is you've got a manufacturer just releasing cards, you've got people chasing the cards, you've got people offering big sums of money once somebody hits that card. How recent is that iteration, and where does it continue to go?
What I can remember, and I'm sure there's been prior to it, but it happened actually in near your neck of the woods, was the Drew Jones chase. And I believe a father-son hit that out of a shop in Cincinnati. But that was like one of the first big bounty chases. A lot of people are talking online, as recent as today, saying that they believe these bounty chases are actually a form of shill bidding for the product, and shilling up, like, potential sales of the sealed products. So it's really interesting to hear people's take. Obviously, in our field, and talking about the hobby, we can't just be happy. Like, we always have to look at the glass being half empty, which is terrible, in my opinion, to even look at things that way, right? So because it does suck the fun out of it. And I don't know. I would say the biggest takeaway from this recent product, Jeremy, honestly, would be what Topps came out and delivered to the hobby shops, and said that, hey, we could care less if this was a product that was a part of our retail program. It is now, and you're going to follow the price mapping for 30 days. I would say that was the most impactful thing, and it really didn't stop a lot of people from doing what they did. Out here in Phoenix, if you're listening, Fanatics, we're big time rule followers, so we did stay at the price map, and it's been enjoyable for all the collectors here at our shop. So the one thing I can say, it was a breath of fresh air, but you have people that don't understand the backbone and how distribution works, and so you'll be like, hey, why is it that Dick's Sporting Goods just opened up 2 years ago, and they have more wax than you've ever had in the history of your shop being open? Why is that the case? And so now the prices are the same at Dick's as they are at our shop. So the competitive advantage of a hobby shop is kind of different. But I would say it definitely laid some interesting groundwork for future products.
So the other news of the week was Beckett Grading shutting down some of their services because of the influx of cards they were getting after PSA shut down their bulk services. I mean, right? There's going to be a lot more raw cards available for sale,
which is amazing for you, Greenie. I know you
I
love
have zero issue
love
with
them
it.
raw.
I have zero issue with it. Now, I do like to grade a card when I need to grade a card.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100% there, but from the buying perspective, it is nice to be able to buy at raw, and then you can kind of gauge what you want to do as far as investing into that card. At the end of the day, maybe it's time, Steve, that we start taking CGC a little bit more serious and really start to think if they might be a player within the space. If they're able to get things back, I mean, they've handled a huge influx of TCG stuff. I don't know. Maybe we start seeing how they handle sports. What's really interesting, think about this, Stephen. I don't know if you're aware of it, but the giveaways at the Topps convention, they put like a little backpack that had all these little knickknacks and stuff. They also each had a CGC slabbed card in there.
Wow. Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. Good things for them. Who knows? You're right. I mean, listen, they're great at grading some of the things, so maybe they take off in sports. So
yeah, at the end of the day, Steve, and we know it really does come down to that red and white label being the flag bearer for value in the hobby. And how many more black eyes can they get before people are just like, or do you think that there is so much in their library of graded stuff that will never be the case? Like, there's just so much PSA out there. It doesn't matter how awful they look. They're still going to carry great value.
Probably so. Probably so.
Well, Joe, we appreciate you jumping in with the Audible tonight. We know we were going to go a little bit later, but we've got a couple other guests to bring in. We appreciate you stepping in a little early today. And you are the unofficial commissioner of chaos, and you handle it very well.
You do a great job. You do a great job. That's the headband. So, yeah. Joe, thanks. Hey, 59th and Thunderbird, tonight. Right? 59th and Thunderbird in Glendale, Arizona.
Well, you can always see me there, but go Tigers tonight, guys.
59th and Thunderbird.
59th and Thunderbird.
Phoenix Sports Cards.
Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. We'll see you next week.
Tigers.
Our thanks to our resident hobby insider, Joe Wysmierski, even though he is a Detroit fan living out there in the desert of Phoenix. So Joe's with us every week, pretty much every week, bringing you the insight from inside the hobby shop. So we appreciate Joe's perspective, buying, selling, trading, dealing with customers, and having the pulse of the hobby. So right now we are going to welcome in a surprise special guest that we had mentioned earlier tonight. A man who joined us recently at the Mountain State Collector Convention Spring Edition, and it was our pleasure to get to know Andy Friedman, an artist in the truest sense of the word. He is a Topps Spotlight artist, among other products, and we got to see him perform live. He writes original music, plays as a solo artist, and with friends in a number of iterations of his band, and what a pleasure it was to spend time with Andy. He is coming through this week to Cleveland, Ohio, Broadview Heights more specifically. Andy will be appearing at Bomber Sports Cards in Broadview Heights as part of his in-store pop-up tour. The event is scheduled this Thursday, August 13th, as well as he'll tell us about the other appearances he'll have in town where he'll be playing. And so let's go ahead and welcome in the Andy Friedman.
Hey guys,
Andy, thank you. Thanks for taking a few minutes. I know you got some people there in the studio. But
all good. That's great. Thank you. I'm glad we have the technology to all be hanging together. Look at that.
That's right. That's right. And we know that you're coming to town here in a couple days, and we wanted to at least get out in front of it, talk a little bit about why you're coming here, what you're doing, and what people can expect to see with the Andy Friedman experience at Bomber Sports Cards.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm very excited to be coming out there. I mean, what can I say? I mean, I've been, I studied painting in art school. This has always been my thing, and my thing was always like, how does a visual artist, how does a painter reach people the way a musician reaches people? You got to get in the car and you got to tour. It can't all be about the album, And so this is how I do it. I mean, I'm thrilled, that have all these cards with Topps. I got about 600 of my paintings turned into Topps cards. So, there's something for everybody. So,
so you're going on tour. You're starting in New York. Where are you going to, and where's this taking you?
Okay. So, right now I'm up in the mountains in New York, and I'm going to pack up all this stuff I've been kind of curating here in the studio for the last like week, making a, you know, every stop I kind of try to curate for, you know, the towns I'll be visiting. And so I'll get in the car on Thursday morning and I'll arrive at Bomber by the afternoon. And I guess 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, we'll start that off. And then that goes from 4 to 7. And then the next day I'll be in Holland, Michigan at Ace Sports Cards and enjoy my time there from 3 to 6. And look, this is a chance for me to meet collectors in person, face to face. I mean, the card shows are another way to do that, but I think this is a fun way to visit people where they are in their towns, and you know, visit card shops as I travel. So I really enjoy meeting collectors, talking with collectors. I enjoy visiting the shops. You know, that's what I'm doing. And then Sunday, I'll be set up at the Beachland Ballroom Flea Market in Cleveland. And that's a room I played in a long time ago as a musician down in the tavern there. Actually, I think they have a thrift shop down there. And that's where I bought a Johnny Cash album. And Sun Records Johnny Cash album, I don't know, I think at $15 or something. I think it was Johnny Cash, The Sun Sounds of Johnny Cash. And for years, every time I slipped the vinyl record into the sleeve, there was something blocking it, something in there, and I just would kind of jam it in. One day, what is in this record sleeve? And I pulled out a little program from a Johnny Cash show from like the late 80s, autographed to Rudy from Johnny Cash, which I since have framed in my studio.
Wow.
So that's my Beachland memory.
That's so cool. Andy, we had such a great time hanging with you in Charleston, West Virginia earlier this year. You were at the show, you exhibited at the show, and then we got to see you play in this quintessential coffee shop, bookstore in the heart of downtown Charleston. What can people expect when they come to see you at Bomber this Thursday?
Well, I mean, I don't have another musical gig until September, so this isn't a music experience. This is what people can expect at Bomber. Is This is what people can expect at Bomber. I got all these cards here. You know, I got 6 showcases filled with my Topps cards. I got some original 1-of-1 art. I got some sealed wax at the Beachland Ballroom. I got prints of my illustrations from the New Yorker and stuff like that. I got original New Yorker cartoons from back when I used to be a cartoonist named Larry Hatt. Here, this one says, "Trash contains 18 items. Are you sure you want to remove them permanently?" So, you know, I got a whole variety of
we're
stuff,
gonna have a good time there. I know I'm gonna be there hanging out at Bomber, and it's gonna be like a card show inside a shop, and also storytelling. I mean, you tell some fantastic stories. People can come and talk to you about your art, your thoughts on cards nowadays. So I know there'll be a little bit more than just sitting around.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, no, it's the conversations. When I think about the travels, I think about the conversations, and then I go to, you know, I'll be in the Philly show in September, and I'll see people from the card show visits, and I make friends. I mean, this is what it is. Look, we're all in this for the same reasons. We love the cards, we love the stories, and we love each other. We got each other. We're all collectors. I'm a collector too. You know, that's the fun of it for me. I get to come home with pickups, you know? So the stories are what it's all about.
Yep. Before we let you go, because you know you got to run, we know you're a collector. What is one of the coolest things in your collection of cards?
Oh my God. Hold on a second. I'm doing something. I know you. Let's see if this happens. But I mean, as long as I got you on the phone, I hope my internet.
That's classic.
Right. Classic.
I hope my internet, and he goes blank. We'll see if Andy comes back here.
I bet he does. He's grabbing it.
He will.
Yeah.
It's a live show. Anything can happen. So we'll be back shortly with Andy.
There he is.
I'm here. I gave up because I lost you.
That's
okay,
right.
so across the street of my studio I have 3 glass display cases that I got from Facebook Marketplace that I filled with my PCs. And what I collect are all ones or authentics. So the coolest thing I have, well, I have like, like a lot of Mickey Mantle PSA 1s. I got a Mike Schmidt rookie with a piece of Scotch tape across it. I got a Nolan Ryan rookie with like ballpoint pen scribbled all over it. All kinds of stuff like that.
Mustache
Hundreds
cards.
Yeah. I got a 1972 Tom Seaver with a ballpoint mustache drawn on it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I collect. And it's great because the price is right.
That's right.
Like, yeah, man, I'll take an Eddie Matthews 55 Bowman for $14 because it looks like it was folded 5 times and thrown in the laundry. I mean, I think the prized item in my collection is a 1956 mantle that I bought at the Burbank card show a long time ago that PSA and SGC refused to slab because they thought it would disintegrate in the process. And for me, I'm like, that's like the highest grade you could possibly get.
Yeah.
A no grade? That's like more rare than a 10.
I think there's something inherently genius about that. While everybody's chasing PSA 10s and 9s, here's Andy Friedman with just beautiful cards because
Well, we love stories. So what's the story? I want a Mickey Mantle that a kid threw against the wall or stuffed in his bike spoke in the 50s. That's what I want. Those are like the wounded war vets on the side of the road. Those are the ones that should be exalted in my mind. I look at a Mickey Mantle PSA 10 and I'm like sad. I'm like, damn, man, what'd you ever do in your life?
Nobody ever loved that card.
You never did a thing in your life, did you?
Nope.
You've just been hiding away while we've all been working. That's the story a Gem Mint 10 tells me. But I mean, hey, look, to each their own. That's the whole thing. You collect what you love,
That's right.
Amazing.
Oh, and I've definitely found a community of like-minded collectors who love this kind of stuff. And we have our own little sub-family of people who totally get it. I mean, I get so excited when I see a crumpled up card. In fact, I do this for a few cards. Actually, here's my... Yeah, I painted a Larry Doby 51 Bowman in my latest in the 2025 Shoebox Treasure set. And for each of those 51s, I have a hand crumpled by artist version of it, one of one. Right. So I will hand crumple only one, sign it, one of one, and I do have that on display coming with me to Cleveland.
Fantastic.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And in Cleveland, that will be at Bomber Sports Cards this Thursday in the window of 3 to 6 p.m. at
3 to 6 or 4 to 7. Well, actually, Greenie would know. Is it 3 to 6?
203 East Royalton Road, and Andy, it's a terrific shop. It's well lit. They've got the largest wax wall in Northeast Ohio. Chris
awesome.
and Kevin do a wonderful job. You're gonna have a great time in there along with Greenie Sports Cards, and always a pleasure to catch up with you, Andy.
You too, guys. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Yep, we'll see you Thursday.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Cool, Andy. Thanks.
All right.
See you
Thanks,
Thursday.
everybody. Yeah.
Yep.
See you later.
Bye.
Terrific. Our thanks to Andy Friedman. Heading out to Bomber Sports Cards, and if you miss him there, he'll be at the Beachland Ballroom on Sunday, as he said.
And Holland, Michigan on Friday. So if you're anywhere near Holland, Michigan, check out that shop for the Andy Friedman experience.
Before we get to Card Show Live and our special guest, Ryan Alford, Greenie, I want to tell you about Hall of Framers, of course. Behind me, 2 terrific portraits framed up by Andrew and Sienna, our friends over at Hall of Framers. These pieces adorning our set were provided by Hall of Framers, Northeast Ohio's premier custom framing studio. They specialize in museum-quality sports displays, shadow boxes, jerseys, memorabilia, and one-of-a-kind pieces that make your collection look its absolute best. Every frame is handcrafted, every detail is intentional, and their team delivers the kind of work you only get from true professionals. If you want your collectibles framed the right way, visit Hall of Framers at hofcle.com or stop by their shop in downtown Berea, just up the road from Cleveland Browns headquarters. And with that, Greenie, it is time for Card Show Live.
This is my favorite time of the week. We get to preview card shows happening around the country. And this week we're going to stop first in Little Shipshewana, Indiana, Amish town. That's been going on since, I believe, 2020. Brad and his team, Card Collector 2, they run a show in the Michiana Event Center. I believe it's 100,000 square feet. They're going to have 500 tables, and I think the record is something over 2,000 Amish pretzels consumed at that show. So Shipshewana, Indiana, that is this Friday, Saturday, August 14th, 15th. I'll actually be set up there with our friends at TNT Sports Cards as well, so come check us out there. The second show is the Dallas Card Show in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is actually at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center. You got that right. The Dallas Card Show will be in Cincinnati, but it's actually in Northern Kentucky at the Convention Center. That is the 14th through the 16th, 250 tables. They have an autograph lineup that includes Ellie De La Cruz and more. So check that out, the Dallas Card Show in Cincinnati in Kentucky. There we have the Falls Church Show, Saturday, August 15th. Bailey Lieberman has 200 tables at the Marriott Falls Church Show, Saturday, August the 15th in Virginia. Front Row, Dan Bliss in Front Row. You've heard us have Dan Bliss on the show several times. They have 600 tables at the Rio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas this weekend, August 15th and 16th. And if you've never been to a Front Row show, you should definitely check it out. 600 tables, the Rio Hotel and Casino. And then we have Ruby Foo's Hotel Show. That is in the Montreal, Quebec. 50 tables. George runs that show. Sunday only, August the 16th. That is our small show of the week at Ruby Foo's Hotel in Montreal, Quebec. And with that, go out and enjoy a card show in your area. Get on a plane, check out one of those shows, or just go to a card shop if there's no shows around. But enjoy the cards this weekend, and we will talk to you soon on the next episode of Card Show Live.
Terrific, Greenie. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. So the Dallas Card Show is in Cincinnati in a venue in northern Kentucky.
Giants and Jets play in New Jersey.
There you go.
Cleveland Browns are going to play in Brook Park. So you can have a card show.
The Strongsville Sports Collectors Convention in Independence, Ohio.
Right.
So
you heard it right. The Dallas Card Show in Cincinnati in Kentucky.
our next guest is Ryan Alford, owner of Collector Station in Easley, South Carolina, a modern trading card and collectibles destination built for ripping, trading, live content, and the chase. Collector Station has become a trusted local hobby shop known for its community-driven atmosphere, unique setup, steady product selection, and commitment to serving collectors across the upstate. Ryan also launched Collector Nation, a growing hobby community and content platform focused on connecting collectors, sharing knowledge, and spotlighting the people who make the hobby what it is. He joins us, hopefully, to talk about the shop, community he's building, and the evolving landscape of the modern hobby. This, of course, is a live show. Anything can happen. Ryan was with us in studio, and presumably will be back any second. I know they do have some stuff going on in
They have a trade night.
store.
They do have a trade night tonight.
Store, so,
There's Ryan. He's coming back. That's the beauty, is we can see the video of who's coming around.
yeah.
So yeah, he'll be here any second, and we'll talk plenty about Collector Nation. We'll talk about the shop. We'll talk about the interviews that we did on stage at the National together, and what's going forward. So whenever Ryan's available, we will bring him on. He may be getting Bailey.
Haley, go ahead and bring him up. We'll see what.
We'll see what's that. We'll see what
Ryan's
happens. No,
All right, we got Ryan's arm.
we do. We have a Ken Griffey Jr. there, but no.
Ryan Alford will be with us momentarily. So there is trade night going on in Collector Station. So let's go ahead and welcome into the studio from Collector Station and Collector Nation, Ryan Alford.
Hey Ryan, can you hear us? Maybe that's the issue. Maybe you can't hear it. Can you hear us? No. All right. Well,
can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me, Greenie?
Yep.
If I have more money in a studio than I could care to admit, and
And it works when it works.
You know,
Yeah.
had everything set up, so I sincerely apologize. But I'm studio literate, but I have no idea why my audio is not going.
Well, we'll page Bella for you, whether you can hear us or not. And
Sorry, apologies. Let's see if I can find something here. But every setting we normally use, I filmed 4 shows today. is on. Nothing has changed other than StreamYard versus Riverside. But
we're working on it. So he can't hear us. So I'm trying to talk to him.
Yeah, text me questions. Let's make it useful.
Yeah.
I know that's I'm here. I want to make it useful. So yeah, call me.
All right. So I'm gonna call Ryan so he can hear us.
And then you'll mute it when he's talking.
We'll mute it.
Yeah. Perfect.
Tech backwards.
We did this once before last year with Sean Bennett. I can hear it ringing.
Let me get you on speaker. Apologies. I mean, my sound is dead. All my levels are playing, and I have no sound. Hey there.
Perfect.
There we go.
Technology.
We can hear. See, we can hear you just fine. You couldn't hear us, but
yeah, I hate it, man. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't tell you. I've done 10,000 episodes of different things. Everything's set up, and my levels are going off. But anyway, we're here. Let's do it.
We're here. Yeah. Ryan, it never fails. It's the the breadsmith's son goes hungry, and the cobbler's son has no shoes. We're in the media tech business, and all our stuff tends to go sideways at times, but really appreciate.
And I try to, let my producer not hang around till, she works pretty endless as it is. So, and I get to pay for being nice. So I appreciate your flexibility. Let's get at it.
So listen, we were together at the National. Can you hear me? Because his phone's over here, but
I can hear you both.
Perfect. So we were together at the National Collectors Nation, Jeremy. We had a little bit of stuff. You and I got to spend some time with Ty Wilson with Chasing Cardboard, and I wanted to touch on that a little bit. What he is doing, showing the interactions of the families, and I know you've had a lot more time to really talk and hang out with him. But where do you see this industry going with some of the content like Ty and other people are doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, I'll use words that are like marketing. In marketing, we say like nascent, early. We're real early in content for the hobby. And I think, some people, see the same things over and over again, pack ripping. I mean, if you get on my YouTube feed, I see a lot of the same things and I enjoy it. But I think we're in a really early phase for media for the hobby. And I think you're going to see the exploration into higher quality forms of content like what Ty's doing. When I say higher quality, that's probably the wrong word, wrong phrasing. Higher production value. All contents in the values in the eye of or the ear of the beholder. So who's to judge that? But I do think you're going to see more and more high quality produced, thoughtful storytelling content like what Ty's doing. And I think we're just scratching the surface of this wave as more and more people. I think we forget sometimes that, I think it's like 7% of the US is into collecting or something like that. It's like less than 10%. And so as more and more people come to the hobby, you're going to see the demand for these things and the expectation. And, we're in this wave of organic content. And I think that's not going back. But I think what you're going to see is more of the high, ESPN 30 for 30 type stuff for the hobby, like storytelling. Absolutely. And honestly, Greenie, if I'm going to make that happen myself, if it doesn't, if someone else doesn't do it, but I'm a firm believer that we're just at the beginning.
We're living that dream right now, Ryan. We're in a proper studio with full-on lights and cameras and audio equipment. They haven't thrown us out yet or taken away the keys. with Big Play here. And there's a lot to cover. I want to get into the shop with you down in Easley, South Carolina, which is unique. We want to talk about Collector Nation, but I really want to touch on and ask you about a recent article that you wrote coming out of the National, and it was entitled "The Hobby Has Outgrown Its Name. The National Didn't Change, We Did." And your article posits that the National hasn't fundamentally changed, but the people attending it have. What was the moment or observation that made you realize that?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you bringing that up, Jeremy. It's literally, if you walk the floor, and I got to do that quite a bit, shooting content, doing stuff with you guys, and you were really paying attention. It was almost like you were in 3 different ecosystems or universes, 3 or 4. And that's just the ones that I got to. I think there was like 12 going on. And it's literally this place where in one room, you're in Las Vegas. You guys know where I'm going with that one. The Breakers Paradise, I'll call it. And it's wheels spinning, dinging, cards ripping, yelling, everything's, lights, camera, action, baby. And then in one, and you could travel 50 feet. And it was kind of like, if you ever been in one of those parties where it's like the continents or like the different nations or something in different rooms, that's how it felt. Like literally you walked into the main room and it's all the old school guys. You got, $1 million worth of vintage in the cases, pristine, exactly what the experience that you had 30 years ago, probably at the National. And then 10 feet away, you had brand activations and kids and people signing autographs. And every person that was there, there were groups that were there for certain experiences. And, the hobby is I love the name, but this is a true culture, community, and it's got layers. And it's just not one layer, it's multiple. And there's room for everybody, but they ain't all the same.
No, you're right. And I know you follow a lot of different brand buildings, market cycles. You see the ups and downs in cards in our hobby. How do any of those compare to some of the other industries that you cover?
Yeah. Well, let me say this, Greenie. I'm going to answer the question that you didn't ask. I'm in the hobby, and I'm here organically and authentically because I collected growing up, and I have 4 boys that are knee deep in it. So it's not just because of what I'm going to say, but let's just say I can do a lot of things in business. There's a reason I'm here, and it's because I think I can do 2 things at once. I think I can actually have fun and be in a ecosystem and a industry that I love and make profitable business moves. And so how would I compare it? I think it goes back to your media question a little bit. We're COVID in the 2019, 2020, 2021, that was a bubble of sorts of cash in the market. But look at what we're seeing now, Greenie. Like, it's literally better than then, or headed towards it. And we don't have all that cash, just unnaturally in the market. And what I think it is, I honestly think that programming and content has gotten so, people are so tired of other things. It's kind of like me. I'm always searching for the next ball game on, like, the movies aren't what they used to be. Nothing's as good as it used to be. And I know that's like, I'm starting to age myself, when you're getting old, when you start saying those things your parents did, but, it's just not like it used to be. And so people are looking for ways to decompress and not think about work or not think about politics. And the hobby is a great outlet for a very human experience, a family experience, and a lot of learning lessons. it just checks so many boxes for a different way to spend your time that I think it's having a moment that's going to stand the test of time.
Which I was going to ask this later, but you just brought it up with, you know, having 4 boys and being in the hobby. What is the joy that you get with your 4 boys in this hobby?
Teaching them, you know, I get to teach them and watch them learn things that I've talked on my business show for 10 years. And some of it, they were younger. You know, I mean, when they were 4, they didn't care that Dad did a #1 podcast, you know, in Apple, you know, I mean, in business, especially. I wasn't talking about, you know, cartoons or whatever they were into when there's 4. But even if they gotten older, you know, I try to find a balance of coming. I think a lot, I'm not to get into parenting. A lot of parents want the kids to come to their level. I'm trying to take it to their level, you know, like go to them. And this is the first thing that was like their interest level. And it allowed me to cross channels. Like I can teach them business, finance, negotiation, talking to adults, respect, and it not come off as a lesson because it's something they're interested in versus me trying to say, hey, you know what Daddy does? And this is how I make, you know, and so it was not about me. It was about their interest. And so that, and then just, they wanted, and my kids like to hang out with me still, but they, for 3 hours a night, twice a week, when we got back into it, we're ripping packs, talking sports, talking Clemson football, talking, you know, Jaguars, and talking Josh Allen, you know, and the Bills. And so that's a dad's dream come true.
Ryan, you came back to the hobby full throttle. You just didn't open packs with your boys. You opened an entire shop down there in Easley, South Carolina. What was the gap that you saw there, both with the shop and Collector Nation? And talk a little bit about the shop itself. It's very unique. You've got probably the only drive-up and drive-through window in a hobby shop in North America. You've got a secret tunnel to your office. Talk a little bit about the experience down there in Easley and what it's like running a shop in that market.
You know, I guess I'm either a bad storyteller, but I'm a storyteller. So it's like, I'm going to do that to you, Jeremy. I'll be brief. I know we only have limited time, but, you know, I spent my entire, I'm in my 40s, but I spent a lot of time working for other people. You know, it's become cool to be an entrepreneur, but I worked for other people for 15 years. And when I set out on my own, it was time and I was able to do what I wanted to do. And I had a couple crash and burn startups, nothing that destroyed me, but just, this was like the first visual, like it was so clear to me with my passion for the hobby, looking around at what was here and not here. It was like the first manifestation of, okay, how do I bring to life what I would want in a store and in the hobby, what I think's missing, and have fun. Like, it's supposed to be fun. I see a lot of people, I'd walk into hobby shops and nobody's having any fun. Like, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. It's like they're toiling over decisions, and you know, it's like, can I get out of this shopping mall any faster? You know, because it's crowded in here, and this guy's I in the hobby box that I am, and I'm gonna get out of here. And so I bought a 3,000 square foot old mid-century modern looking dry cleaners that looked way cooler than it had any business on the front from the street on Main Street in Easley. And I just happened to have been a kid that was born and raised in Easley, South Carolina. And I had moved to Greenville, the big metropolis of, you know, upstate South Carolina, but moved back here with my wife and bought this building. And I'm like, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to build what I think the hobby needs. And it's like the most old school tech forward store you'd ever come into. You know, like it's still old school. I purposely bought old cases. I did buy, I could have brought new cases. I bought old cases. There's some things that will make every collector feel comfortable. But if you look behind the curtain, we've got an app, we've got technology, we've got a drive-through, we've got a secret door because we want it to be fun, but we also want it to remove friction and lean into tech because I am a tech guy. And so I'm a walking contradiction in some ways. I love the old school, but I know how to program and code and develop, and I think in headlines. So it's a weird combination.
So let's touch on that, because we do live in a digital world where we can now rip a pack of cards on our phones. We can, bid on auctions. Jeremy and I talk about the face-to-face transaction still never gets old, whether it's in a card shop or whether it's in a show. How do we keep that going in the digital world that we're living in?
Yeah. I mean, I opened a 3,000 square foot store. I mean, because I believe that exact thing, Greenie. Literally, I don't know how many people were in here. We do trade nights our tagline's trade night every day. I don't know how many people we had in here. Tuesday nights, actually trade night. 50, 60 people on a random Tuesday night. We're just here like 10 minutes ago before I started this episode. And I 100% believe in it. And I think the way you do it is you create stores like this or create environments and you make space for it. If you don't make space for it, then it can't happen. And I think it's up to hobby shops. And I mean, yeah, I had the luxury of buying an old building in a South Carolina town where maybe it's more affordable. I don't know. But I just think we've got to be more deliberate in creating spaces, times, and places for that to happen, because people crave it. And I think people want it. And I think I'm a firm believer. I wear it on my chest. Digital and in-person can live together, and there's plenty of room for it. But we do need to make certain things easier. We need to lean into technology in both media access, pricing, all those, and because it's there, we've kind of scratched the surface of it. But I just think we can move even closer to that.
Ryan, we got about 2 minutes before we have to wrap up at the hour here. Your article emphasizes that the hobby has outgrown its name. That article about community as the core part of the experience and the collector experience. You were at the National last year. You saw it this year. It continues to raise the bar, particularly since COVID. What do you project in the next year ahead, heading towards the 2027 National back in Chicago? What are the vibes you're getting, and where do you think we'll be a year from now?
I think technology with AI and everything else has gotten cheaper to develop, but harder to be smart. I think a lot of solutions are going to continue to come out that seem smart but aren't potentially, and that's just a guess. But I think a lot of people are going to launch a lot of things, and it's going to be like but software's gotten cheap. Creativity and ideas are always more valuable, and slicing between that. So I think you're going to see more and more like players from the tech side come in a little bit. But I think the grading thing is really interesting right now. It's a big storyline. I wrote another article about Beckett shutting down, and I love the guys over there. Colin's awesome, and I think Beckett needs to have a place in this hobby. It's a legacy brand. It needs to be what it's always been, but it's important. But they're shut down. PSA shut down. It's going to change the framework. Suddenly existing graded cards got more valuable, and maybe we're going to finally see raw cards not be worth what PSA 9s are. Can we get on that train? And so I think you're going to see whatever that spills out. Grading costs are going to go up. Raw card value might drop a little. And I think what you're going to see is I'm just so bullish on how much room there is to grow with how many more people can come into this that aren't in it. It's kind of my fear with grading too. If they can't keep up now, how are they going to keep up when the hobby doubles?
That's right. Ryan, listen, we really appreciate your time. We will catch up again more soon when we have some more time, but thank you very much for joining us. It's
Thank
been
you
terrific.
guys. Can't wait to grow this relationship. Love your show. Love you guys, and appreciate everybody.
You got it.
You too, Ryan. Really appreciate you joining us. That's Ryan Alford from Collector Station, Collector Nation down in Easley, South Carolina. Our thanks to Joe Wysmierski, our resident hobby insider. Thanks to Andy Friedman, who will be joining us this Thursday at Bomber Sports Cards. Greenie, thank you, and may the cards forever be in your favor.
We appreciate it.